Research conducted by LifeWorks and Deloitte among private and public sector organizations found that 82% of senior leaders finish work feeling mentally or physically exhausted. The alarming sacrifice is not sustainable and shouldn't be allowed to continue. Here to talk about the solutions to burnt-out leadership is Sandra Beswick. She's the founder and director of Fluence Capital. Sandra, thank you very much for your time. So I guess as employees who are subordinates, we should stop saying, that's why you get the big bucks.
Yes, but having said that, I think everybody is under stress at the moment, under sort of some kind of risk of having burnout, because we've got so many things coming into our lives all the time, external pressures, load shedding, water shedding. So yes, I think leaders in this country are already taking a lot of strain and trying to cope with it, put on a brave face. But you don't need to do that. One needs to acknowledge that we're distressed and that we are, facing anxiety and we have a lot of stress in our lives. It takes a lot to admit, and it's not. It's not. You're not being a coward if you admit it. You're actually being quite brave.
And, obviously it's also an issue if the leader, it's like even in your own home, if the parent or the father who is the head or the mother who is the neck, if they're not in good condition mentally and physically, they can't lead the rest of the pack.
Yes, you can't. I mean, people pick up what you're feeling and don't hide it. Rather be open with all your employees, with your family. Tell them what your problems are and get their support. It's important to have support during this time. You can't go it alone. I don't think we are meant to go things alone. It's better to do it in a group, in a team, and get buy-in from everybody as to what you want to do, or get suggestions from them, find solutions from people around you.
Okay, so that would be, something that will assist, obviously. But also, like you were saying earlier, leaders don't want to show that they're going through something because obviously they have people to lead and, they want to leave the office with everything being done, and they have to be the ones that follow behind their subordinates to make sure that deadlines are met, etc.
Yes, that's 100% correct. But as I said, people will give you support. You can't do anything. You're not, as a leader, you can't be expected to do anything. Having a one-man business is very difficult from the perspective you have to become a jack of all trades. But if you've got people that work with you, you can, make use of them as well. I mean, not saying use them negatively, but make use of them, get their suggestions, get their buy-in, get their assistance, and admit it. We don't always have to put on a brave face. It takes courage to admit you need help. Communicate with everybody about it. You never know, somebody might have a very good idea and help you through the process.
The employer as well, how do they come in to assist with this? Because at the same time, the economy in South Africa, at least, has been performing so badly that you find that companies that used to take their team members to bus parades, etc., aren't able to today. And therefore, there's just fatigue on all levels, not just the leaders.
Yeah, well, I think everybody needs to have a break, and you need to find a balance between family life and work life. It's not all just about work. I think we become so absorbed into our working lives, and it becomes so self-absorbing that you can't think of anything else. But one has to, take the emotions out and take a bit of a break. You never know, things will still continue. You need to have a break, because otherwise, burnout happens, and then you're not able to do anything anyway. So rather have a break and come back feeling refreshed, hand over the cudgels to somebody else, and have a little bit of a time to yourself to reflect and to find out that what can be done.
You also reflect on decision fatigue that leaders go through at their places of employment. But also there's the balance of, accountability. The reason why there's a certain person who takes decisions is so that if something goes wrong or even right, someone takes account.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take accountability for decisions. Rather take a decision than not take a decision. There's not always a wrong decision that you take. Rather do it. Show some leadership, that you have got the matter in hand, and that you want the company to prosper, and that just things can go ahead. So yeah, I think you need to delegate, and also if your decision doesn't work out to be correct, well then you made a decision at the time. There's no such thing as a wrong decision.